Hey friends, Martin here from the Wireless Income. Again, greetings Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, another sunny gorgeous day here. Welcome to my home. It's actually my home office, as you can see. We have a board here as well. And today I want to give you a formula for creating unique quality content. If you get the principles, if you understand the very simple principles, you will be able to apply them for the rest of your life. And this concept is based around a concept developed by Tony Robbins called modeling, where you model other successful people or successful businesses that already are out there. So let's first try to answer the question, why do you need quality content? I mean, when we look at the internet, the whole internet consists of content, right? And the second thing is, I want to encourage you as a marketer, as an internet marketer, to have something called online real estate. Think about it, online real estate. What is it? Pause for a moment and imagine yourself owning 500 properties. How does it feel? Imagine yourself owning 2,000 properties. And every single month, tenants are bringing you cash. They're sending cash to your bank account. So regardless if you are working, or if you are not working, if you are traveling, or if you are somewhere in Africa building a well or a school, you're still getting paid because you have a real estate and you have people that are paying you. So let me ask you here a question. Is it possible to do something similar online? Have you thought about this? Is it possible to create something similar online? If you create unique quality content that will be out there, that will be ranking out there, is there a chance that people will be interacting with it and you're gonna get a number of visitors? And a percentage of them, just roughly it's around 5%, depending on like how you structure the content, will give you email addresses to stay in touch with you, and that will be your leads. And a smaller percentage of them will become your customers. How does it feel? If you have unique quality content, if you have videos, if you have posts, they will be waiting for you when you are not working. For example, a couple of months ago, we were going on a trip to Laos. We were getting ready, our friends came from London and from Poland. We were getting ready, the whole day was pretty busy, packing, arranging everything, and we didn't do anything. And on that day, just before leaving to the airport, I opened my laptop, I logged in, and 2 people bought products from me. And 2 people bought products that I didn't interact with. I had no relationship. They basically interacted with my quality content. And they decided to pull out a credit card and they decided to buy. And what is more interesting is that the payment is recurring, because they decided to join something that is having a monthly residual income. So what it created, before I left on the holiday, I had big part of my trip already paid for. I mean, especially Laos is a cheap country. I mean, things are really cheap there. So big part of my holiday was already paid before I even reached the airport. So let me just walk you through this formula, how it works. Have you heard of modeling? I just want to explain that a little bit more, that Tony Robbins talks about it. The fastest shortcut to success is modeling people who have already done it, or modeling businesses that are already doing very well, instead of trying to reinvent and come up with concepts. The same applies on the internet. Have you heard of a website called Alexa? Alexa ranks all the websites on the internet, and you can go on alexa.com, and I recommend you go and study top 50 pages on the internet and study asking this one powerful question. What did they do to be in the top 50? What did they do that people give them so much attention? Think about it. Because these principles are extremely transferable to your own business. So let's start from the top. I think number one right now, kind of is Google and Facebook. I think they keep fighting with each other, they compete with each other. Sometimes it's Google, Facebook, but I think as for today is Google, so let's start with Google. So what is Google? Google is a search engine, right? And it's a search engine that helps you to find relevant information. And I think Google has also this motto that they say that the search stops with Google. They want you to find everything which you are looking for with Google. They want you to stop that. So how do they do that? They constantly change those algorithms, the engines behind, in order to provide quality, unique content that is relevant. For example, if you write about horse riding, if your headline is about horse riding, the body of your post, of your video, has to be about horse riding. You can't kind of mix it up. Some people do that. Simple, but some people, there are still lots of people out there who do that. So the lesson here is relevant. Make your content relevant. Make your content relevant and highly searchable, because that's the lesson through modeling the first page that is currently on the internet. Number 2 is Facebook. Facebook is slightly different animal when we get to think about it. You know, they do have lots of content, and lots of content that is created daily, but what kind of content is that? Often it's inaccurate, it's poor quality, and it's often at the same time it's just random opinions instead of facts, right? It's so easy to kind of confuse things. You really don't want to take advice from Facebook, because there are lots of things mixed up and stuff. But why did they get to number 2? They are social, they tell stories, and they're engaging. Let's tell a little bit more about the stories, because this is a common thing that I strongly encourage you to kind of play and master these principles of storytelling. How did Facebook do that? I mean, we used to have a wall previously, right? And a couple of months ago, they changed that into a timeline. Yeah, right now we have a timeline. So how does the timeline work? You know, they try to track you back to your birth, when you were born, and then they kind of collect images and descriptions, different things, tracking back your life. What happened? You went to school, you went to university, you had your first girlfriend, you got engaged, you bought a house, you bought a car, right? So everything here is, you had a baby, everything here is basically on a timeline. So you are telling your story through the timeline. So what is the lesson here? What are the principles? Make it social, allow people to interact with that, and encourage also that. Like Facebook created a like button, and of course right now on your blogs, on your content, you have lots of that around as well, yeah, the social sharing. But encourage that as well. Hey, click like and share. Why did they create that? Like, think about this: when 2 people get together, they have something in common, then they create, then they say that they spend a little bit more time with each other, right? And on Facebook, if somebody says something or shares something, and you like that, you hit the like button, and later what Facebook does, it makes it more relevant for you, so it appears more often. That's why the likes are really, really important, because it shows up on the timeline much more. And engaging as well. So let's look at number 3. Number 3 is YouTube, and obviously we know that YouTube is owned by Google. And what's so special about YouTube? I mean, currently, people watch more YouTube than they watch TV. Yeah, I haven't had TV for 12 years. Like, if I showed you around here the house, I don't have TV. I haven't had it for 12 years. Currently, videos, like looking from a YouTube perspective, YouTube is number 2 search engine in the world, straight after Google. And if you create video, it is extremely, extremely well searchable on Google. Seriously, within like half an hour. If you do good work, and there's a formula, there's like 7 steps behind it, you can rank it so fast on Google. It's incredible. Another thing, video converts 800% better than text. Video is the closest to seeing a person face to face. So I strongly encourage you, if you haven't done it, use it. And if you haven't used it, just leave some comments below. Interact a little bit. I just want to encourage you. And what is the principle behind YouTube? YouTube is entertaining. YouTube is also information, right? We search for information. How can I upload a picture on a WordPress theme, for example? Or you would see sometimes really goofy videos that get like millions and millions of hits. I remember I've recorded that video, 5 steps for driving traffic, and it got like 50 or 60 kind of views. Later I recorded another video when we went to the night market, I took Mari, when Mari came back from Maldives, I took her to one of those stalls in Malaysia, like really, really cool place. I really like that. And we made it fun, we made it goofy, and it went like instantly over 100, like within 24 hours. So what is the lesson here? It's entertaining and information as well, and use videos as well, because that's how people right now spend most of the time. Currently, more than 50% of the traffic comes from YouTube, comes from videos generally. Yeah, 50% of traffic on the internet is videos. I think it is expected within the next 2 years to go to like 75%. If you are not on video, use it. Definitely use it. Fourth thing, let's look at the most commercial, the big malls, online malls that exist there. And from things that I have seen, the top places on Alexa would be eBay and it would be Amazon, right? Because that's when billions and billions of transactions every single year are being made every single year. Yeah? So when we analyze, when we model the business models behind all those stores, how does it look like? I mean, on eBay, you have your profile, you have your rating, you have a description, and often people throw bonuses, right? So how do we translate it into our business? Rating is testimonials. You have to have testimonials. Why? Because people are looking for social proof. Before you buy something on eBay, you check the guy and say, oh wow, he has done one transaction, so he might be quite risky. I wouldn't buy from him. But you go, another one has like 575 transactions, and you say, sure, I feel more comfortable to making business with this person. Then you have a description, and so often it is neglected. I mean, description allows you to position yourself and position your product. So it's very, very important to actually use that while creating your content as well and selling things online. Next thing, bonuses. You heard that phrase, promotion drives sales, right? And it's important, it's very, very important to understand the power of bonuses. Imagine, for example, you're going on eBay and you are looking for a tennis racket, right? And let's say it costs $100 US. And you check another user, and this guy has a tennis racket, plus he has tennis balls. He gives you as a bonus. And my question to you is, which one do you buy? Obviously, the second one, right? If you check, they're exactly identical, no one has the same rating, and the other one has a bonus, it will get you to buy more frequently. And I want to encourage you, throw bonuses for people. That's very, very important. And so the principles behind comes from Alexa. That's extremely powerful. But I want to throw some extra bonuses here for you to be able to use it while creating this unique quality content. First of all, be yourself. Yeah, I could have dressed up in a suit, I could have worn a tie, but that's the way I am every single day. That's me, basically, that's me. Sometimes I might not be wearing a t-shirt. You might have seen probably, because it's hot here in Malaysia, right? You might have seen one of the previous videos, but it's me. Be yourself. Just discover who you are and be yourself. Next thing is reality TV. Have you thought about this? Like, why people love the reality TV so much? Why people spend so much time, either on YouTube or TV, watching the reality TV? I have to admit, I watch one as well. There's one that I kind of frequently watch. I mean, frequently. Whenever there is something there, they kind of do it once a year. It's Apprentice. I love seeing that. And let's ask the question, why? Because you get real people like us, real normal people. People who often would embarrass themselves, people who would be doing things they've never done previously. They struggle, they fight, and eventually they break through. Some of them they don't. But basically it's a reality TV. I've seen people like, yesterday I was watching also a video on YouTube. There's a guy who has done Dogpreneur, who kind of drives his kids to school, and he describes a little bit his day, what's happening on day-to-day basis, and he's recording just a normal, boring, daily stuff, but at the same time bringing some ideas. Yeah? So be yourself. Another thing, use the element of reality TV. The next thing is best-selling authors. I want to encourage you to spend time outside of computer. I want to encourage you to read books as well. There is a reason why best-selling authors are best-selling. Think about this. Because they really understand lots of principles. They know how to create a scene. They know how to tell a story in a powerful way that will engage you, that will get you to hold the book from the beginning to the end for 5-6 hours without putting it down. Has it ever happened to you? You know, it's a powerful way of creating unique quality content, right? So that's definitely something I would encourage you. Right now, Mari finished reading just this couple of months ago, and this is one of my favorite authors when I was growing up, Alexander Dumas. And I was reading basically most of his books, and we have right now at home 3 Musketeers. And I started rereading it again because I really loved that when I was, I think, 17, 18. I read a lot of his books. But right now I'm reading it from a different perspective. I'm looking for language patterns. I'm looking how they're describing things. I'm looking how they position things, because this is a powerful, powerful skill set. And let's look at books, for example, Harry Potter. I mean, it's sold in so many books. I haven't read it, I have to admit. Mari has, so she will have something to say about it. But a book that I have read, and I just want to emphasize, is Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? It has been on a best-selling list for years, for a really, really long time. And when we get to think about this, how did Kiyosaki do it? He taught principles, powerful business, wealth-creating principles, through stories. He was telling stories how he was growing up with his friend, how his dad, Rich Dad and Poor Dad, were kind of, you know, giving him mixed messages, how he was melting lead. You might remember at the very beginning how they were trying to make money. And all the different things he basically is being told through stories. And another thing that stories I use a lot is movies. Yeah, why do we spend 2-3 hours in a cinema watching something? Because there is a story, it's engaging. You know, they bring you to the scene, they introduce the characters. And I just want to kind of also throw a small bonus here, master storytelling system. Master it. Just look at people whenever they tell stories. How do they do that? What do they do with the voice? What do they do with the text? How do they describe things? And there is a small shortcut to that, because there is something called SAVE. S-A-V-E. Stands for smell, auditory, visual, and emotional. Most stories are told that way. Why? Because you want to engage all the senses. To demonstrate that, let's come up with an example. Imagine you are landing in Kenya. You are getting off the plane and you are hit by this wave of hot air. And it has this strong smell that it's like a mix of petrol and something that you've never smelled before. And it's really disgusting. And you are coming outside of the airport and you are seeing cars lining up, black color cars lining up. And you feel that your heart started beating faster. You are excited, but at the same time you are scared. You don't know what to expect. Yeah, I just use the principle behind the SAVE. I use the smell, auditory, visual, and emotion. How different it is when you tell stories in such a powerful way. And the last one is master communication. I mean, when you study people who make money on the internet, they are clearly master communicators. They understand principles behind creating unique quality content, and that could be in lots of different forms. It could be through the forms of posts, videos, even on Facebook, such, yeah, Facebook timeline statuses, connection through Facebook messaging. It could be through webinars, through seminars. They are master communicators. They really know how to get you to connect with them. Okay? And right now I just want to invite you to do a little bit of social engagement. Underneath this video, click on like, leave some comments. I really love them, and I promise to answer that comment that you leave. And subscribe to the button, to our YouTube channel. There is underneath, there is this there is this button called subscribe. If you have already done it, it's a red color. If you haven't, just click on it. And at the same time, doesn't it look exciting? Yeah? If you are ready to start creating your unique quality content, if you are ready to start using all those principles that we described here, click on the link below here, put your email address and watch the video. The video that I prepared for you has basically all the elements. You will look for relevancy, social engagement, storytelling. There are lots of examples of that. There is also entertaining. You will notice that as well. And you will notice certain elements of commercial aspects, storytelling, all the different things that I described. So click on the link below, put your email address and watch the video. It might change your life.